Good morning. Welcome to the Bearded Welshman channel. Let me move my mic down a little bit so my beard doesn't scratch it. I hope you are all doing well. Smoking my fireside this morning with my coffee. Almost lost a drop there. Don't lose a drop of coffee. That's sacrilegious. I did that on purpose. September 11th, 2001. I just finished a 24-hour shift as an EMT at the station. That's what my career was. And I was on my way home and I was listening to the Howard Stern show, I remember. And it was my anniversary to my ex-wife. And we were going to go out to breakfast straight from me leaving work to celebrate with her parents. And Howard Stern broke in and started talking about a plane hitting the World Trade Center. As I got to the house, my ex-father-in-law normally always had the news on. Didn't. And I ran in and I said, put the news on. Now, I know, still in uniform. And we're watching for a little bit. And that's when I saw the second plane hit the tower. And I knew right then and there that this was an act of terrorism. Looked at my ex-wife and said, I'm going to have to go back to work. And no sooner did that happen than my pager went off, my beeper. And I called in and my boss said, pack for 5 days at least, get back in here now. The country is under attack, we don't know what's going on. You're ordered back to work. Scary times. I lived and worked less than 5 miles from a nuclear power plant. Went into work. Everybody showed up. All 35 of us. Watching the news. Watching it all unfold. A couple guys that were firefighters in New York City were from my area, and we all knew them, or knew of them. And when the first tower came down, we knew that lives were going to be lost, a lot. And those guys that we knew perished that day. That was a rough day. That was a rough week. F-16 fighter planes flying low. Every so often there would be a threat to 3 Mile Island, which was the nuclear power plant. And let me tell you something. When a fighter jet flies at treetop level, it shakes the windows. It shakes the furniture. Very unnerving days. Very uneasy, very unknowing. Scary days for a lot of people. We had a group of first responders from our area, which was part of Task Force 1, which is a search and rescue team made up of firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, and the likes. And they go and they respond all over the world to disasters. And they went up to New York City to help out. And a number of those fellows today have died after the fact. They somehow related to the, which we didn't know back then, you know, the air they were breathing in and everything. And some of them have cancer. Some of them have died. We've lost quite a few of good men. So we shouldn't forget that day. We shouldn't forget that day. Give you statistics, okay? 8 EMTs and paramedics died that day. 60 police officers, 343 firefighters, 2,997 civilians. I think today should be a day of coming together as a country to remember. Set aside the politics, set aside the hatred and the differences and the riots and the looting and everything, and let us pay our respects and pray for the families of those fallen heroes, those men and women. And I'm talking every one of them, civilians and first responders alike. Let us never forget.